Welcome back, everyone. True or false? Helium-2 with a 2+ charge does not exist. We're given two answer choices, A, true, and B, false. So to answer this question, we need to think about the molecular orbital diagram. First of all, we notice that helium has 2 valence electrons because it belongs to the group 8A, right? But it is an exception. Specifically, we have to recall that helium is an exception to noble gases. Even though it belongs to the group 8A, it still has 2 valence electrons. Now, we have 2 of them, right? So the total number of valence electrons would be 2 multiplied by 2, and we need to subtract the positive charge. So the total number of valence electrons would be 2. Now, whenever we want to consider the molecular orbital diagram, we want to draw 2 atomic orbitals for each helium, right? We know that helium has electrons in its 1s orbital. So we take 2 helium atoms. Now, in this case, if we have 2 valence electrons total, we're going to take 1 electron for each helium atom. And from the 2 atomic orbitals, we're going to form 2 molecular orbitals. Now, what are those orbitals? We have to recall that the lower energy orbital is sigma 1s, and the higher energy orbital is sigma star 1s, the anti-bonding orbital. And now we want to essentially take those electrons and we want to pair them onto sigma 1s orbital based on the Hund's rule, right? Specifically, we want to use the Hund's rule as long as Aufbau principle holds, right? So we cannot jump to a higher energy orbital before we fill the lower energy orbital completely. We're out of electrons, and what we notice is that the 2 electrons belong to the bonding orbital. Let's recall the formula for the bond order. We take 1/2 multiplied by the number of electrons in the bonding molecular orbitals. We can say bonding electrons minus anti-bonding electrons. In this case, we would have 1/2. The number of bonding electrons would be 2, and anti-bonding would be 0. We calculate the result and we get 1, which is greater than 0. If the bond order is greater than 0, then this structure is expected to exist theoretically. So we can say that the answer to this problem is false. Helium-2 with a 2+ charge is expected to exist because the bond order is greater than 0. Thank you for watching.